Alrighty guys, so we're over here in pretty much kind of my backyard. Almost, not really my backyard, but you know, I'm only a block away from my house. So we're going to be doing the horn test. This is still a stock horn, and I figured, you know, we're probably going to do, I don't know if you guys could see that 40-mile-an-hour sign right over there. It's gonna honk over there, but there's another sign, a yellow sign right over there, and I'll honk over there. And then just for giggles, there's a sign even further, all the way down there, and I'll honk my horn over there as well, just to hear the comparison of how this little horn sounds. Now don't get me wrong, that this little horn for this bike, you know, doesn't sound too bad actually. Well, obviously there's no motor, so that kind of cancels out that noise, so you only hear the horn. So that's that. All right, well, let me get on the bike and let's do the horn test. Do the horn test when I'm over there, coming back this direction, as when you hear a horn, it sounds a little bit different coming from coming from a leaving standpoint to a coming back standpoint. Alrighty guys, well hopefully you're able to hear that. I'm kind of curious to see how that horn will sound as we're kind of going this way and that way. Like I said, it is a different tone when going versus coming or whatnot, or vice versa. Hopefully there wasn't too many cars like that guy kind of interrupting my videos. That always seems to happen. Anytime I go somewhere and record, it could be the road that no one ever goes on. But as soon as I start filming, you can see there's so many cars coming by. It's like they know. Like that guy. Any other day, no cars would be on this road. This is like, look at that guy. See what I mean? I don't know where these people are even coming from. All right, guys. So let me get back to let's get back to base, and yeah. And then I'll show you how to install the new horn. And then we'll go back on the same road that no one ever goes on for some apparent reason when I'm not filming. And we'll do the same test where I'll, you know, hit it at those few other areas with the new horn, and the same thing on the way back. So first things first, we need to go ahead and remove all of this body paneling. And that's going to be with a 10mm socket, which is going to be removing this bolt here, this bolt down here, a bolt right over here. And then after that, it's going to be a Phillips screwdriver. You're going to remove this screw here to remove a cap, which is going to reveal a bolt in the back of 10mm. Then you're going to remove your seat, and that's going to be a screw over here. Or actually a screw back here, a Phillips screwdriver over here, and a Phillips screwdriver up here. After that, there's going to be two screws on this side, over here on this part. So it'll be a Phillips screwdriver up here on the top and on the bottom. And then I know there's a lot of screws. Phillips screwdriver here at this bottom or at this point right here. The screwdriver, Phillips screw right over here at this bottom, and all the way here at the bottom there's gonna be another Phillips screw. So go ahead and remove all of those screws, and then you're gonna have to do a little bit of jiggling of the body paneling to get it unlatched from the notches that are up here on the top, and then you should be able to pull everything apart. Alright, now that you get all those screws loose, you could just go ahead and wobble this thing out, and it should pretty much come out. Oh, I almost forgot about that screw I mentioned earlier in the video, about that one in the back. Alright. Okay, so now everything is out. Go ahead and put this off to the side. Alrighty guys, now the horn that we're going to be installing is made by Moto Horn. Let's see if I can find the name of it. It doesn't really say, but pretty much here is the horn that we're going to be installing. I'll have a link down in the description of this video of where to purchase this, all along with a small little code to help you save some money. Okay, I'm going to take out the horn from here, and there's going to be a low tone and a high tone horn. The low tone is going to be at 400 hertz. Hopefully you guys can see that. The high tone is going to be at 500 hertz. Hopefully you guys can see that as well. So not only are we going to be installing both of these horns together, we're also going to be installing the stock horn as well. So it's going to be a 3-horn setup, which is going to be perfect because we got our low tone, our high tone on this one, but we're also going to have our extreme high tone of the stock horn. So besides that, this part doesn't come with the horn set. You will have to purchase this separately, and it's going to be a fused relay, which is going to give you unlimited amount of power for the horns to be able to honk as many times as you want, as your little heart desires, to annoy the hell out of people. So I'm going to be installing this with a spare battery that I do have on the e-vader motorcycle. So, and just for the 2-horn setup, it does come with its own little wire harness, which is right here. Very simple to set up, really. And yeah, so but before we set everything up over here, I want to find a location on the e-vader, which that's why we undid the whole body paneling over here, so we could get to a spot on the bike that I think I pretty much found a spot, which is going to be right over here against this plate. I know it's just a little bit dark in there, but as soon as I get a light, I will flash it in there. But you can see there is some slots here, which I think will be perfect to put the horn. And we're going to try to get the horn part, which is this part, facing towards the top, as that's where pretty much there's more of holes facing out towards the front, and I think the sound will protrude through there and allow the horn to really be heard. Alright guys, try to do the best I can on showing you as I have the camera right in front of me, but I'm going to put the camera to the side so you guys can see. Now I'm going to have this horn on the left side and this horn on the right side. The left side horn is going to be the low tone horn at 400 hertz. The one on the right is going to be the high tone horn at 500 hertz. So it's pretty much going to be like this. As you can see, I already got the brackets kind of at an angle, as that's how they're going to be installed on the bike. Now the locations of where I selected to install this, if we go back on this side, you could see that where this controller is, there's actually slits or slots on it, and this is how this thing is installed. There's a slot up here, one here in the middle, and then one here in the bottom, and that's where that bolt is located. And it's the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to take advantage of those slots. And if you look on this side a little bit more here, this is where our stock horn is on the e-vader. And you can see that there's little holes right here where my fingers are. Kind of see that right here. You can see me kind of putting my hand around. And there's holes right here, and that's where that horn is, kind of so the sound can come out through this side. Along that, on the top part, you can see where my hand is, there's a big hole over here. So as long as that this part of the horn, this part, will be kind of up here in this area, all the sound should come out through here, obviously going towards the front of the bike. So if I were to kind of put this hole right here, it's going to coincide with this slot right here in the top where my finger is. So I'm going to go ahead and slide it in like this, and then attach it like so. So it pretty much look like this once I bolt it on there with a bolt and a nut. So you're going to see also that the tabs are on this side, Now on the horn, I don't think there is a positive and a negative. I think positive is on the top, negative is on the bottom, or it could be vice versa. I don't think this is pole sensitive, so you could pretty much put it, you know, however you like it. Just make sure you do it the same on the other horn. So if you're gonna do the positive on the top, make sure you do the positive on the top on the other horn as well. To attach the horns, I'm going to do it with some nut and bolt sets that I just kind of have laying around. They don't particularly match, but as long as the thread and the length is kind of the same. It's, I believe it's 6 millimeters. So that's going to be that. The way we're going to install it is going to be also with the relay, as I showed you before. This one is a fused relay at 30 amps. So this is gonna allow some major juice to be pulled, pushed a lot of sound through the horns. Obviously this is the stock horn setup and it's already connected to a battery or whatnot, or through the wiring harness here. But we're also gonna incorporate this little bad boy as well, as that's a pretty decent horn for its size, to kind of give it a nice triple horn setup. So I'm going to use the stock wiring harness that it came with the horn setup. The only thing different is that I'm going to add an additional wire to go to the OEM horn on the bike. These are going to go to the aftermarket part of the horn. So let me go ahead and wire them, you know, put that extra wire on there, and then I'll show you how they look like. Alrighty guys, now I'm going to show you a bunch of wires. I know it's going to look like a lot, but don't worry, I'm going to kind of simplify it for you so it doesn't look so bad. Alright, so we already got our wire harness. Now this is the ones that came with the horn. These are the two stock ones that it came with, and then I added the extra one. This is gonna be for the negative. So that's our three horn setup there. Same again, I added the extra wire. Now this is gonna be for the positive side of the horn, the 3-horn setup. Next we have our relay, and it's gonna be power with the, you know, it has a fuse on it, so if anything were to happen with the horn setup, just check the relay, and if that's popped, just go ahead and pull it out, put a new one, you're good to go. Alright, so now I'm gonna explain to you everything on the relay itself. This one I haven't put anything yet to it. This is gonna go straight to the positive side of our accessory battery pack that I have installed on the bike. Next we have our white wire, and that's gonna go to the positive stock horn wire harness. So if you look over here, I already pulled it off of the horn. This was originally over here, so I already pulled it off, and this is it. So this is what we're going to be tapping into as far as the wire harness goes. We have a positive and we have a negative. So again, this wire is going to go, this white wire is going to go to the positive side of that harness. The black wire obviously is going to go to the negative side of the wire harness. And then we have this one. This one is going to go to the positive, which is this guy here, the positive wire harness that's going to go to the 3 horns, the 2, you know, we're gonna right here, here's that horn and here's that horn. So I'm gonna tap into the top ones, and I'm gonna say that's gonna be our positive, the bottom ones are gonna be our negative. So when we attach the wire harness, we're gonna attach one on this side, one on that side, and this one's gonna go to the stock horn on the bike. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start wiring everything, and you guys pretty much do the same. So let me kind of do part of it right now. I'm not going to concentrate too much on the right side. I'm going to do this side because this side is going to be more furthest into the bike. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the positive in. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in. Slide it in all the way as much as I can. And you know what, guys? Since there is a little bit of aluminum showing, I actually want to put an extra piece of heat shrink over here. Therefore, if we're to contact anything on the bike, I'm not going to get another short like I did with my Gixxer when I installed the... oh man, this thing doesn't want to come off now. When I had installed the horn. If you guys have some heat shrink around, the size of this particular heat shrink, it is 1/4, which is right to there. Let me go ahead and remove that red one. So it's the 1/4 size. Okay, so I already have everything done. The top part I made, the top terminal on the horn, I made it as the positive. The bottom part I made as a negative. You could see I have my positive wire up here and the negative wire down here. And you can see I put the heat shrink tubing all the way over here to make sure that there is no metal exposed besides these parts, which should be fine because this part's going to be sticking out anyway. Alright, so I already tightened down the bolt here, which is going to be a 10mm nut here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably tap into the screw that's already there. Is if you see the bolt right inside there, right about there, there we go. You can see this bolt right here. I do have another nut which has a nylon end to it, which is going to provide, you know, to be able to screw it in, and it's not really going to come out because of the nylon end part of it, which is going to keep it secure. All right, I kind of got everything in that side connected. Because see, here's my positive, here's my negative, and I already ran that extra wire that was supposed to go to the stock horn. So the positive is already right here. All right, so you can see that the extra positive is right here. The negative is already there. This is the other part for the other side of the horn. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect or install the other horn on this side, and then put those wires and install those as well. That's going to be pretty much here. Negative on this one, and then the positive on this one. So remember, the way you install it on one horn, make sure you do it the same on the other. So if you did positive on the top and negative in the bottom, make sure you do the same thing on the second horn. Alrighty guys, as you can see, the horn is already installed there. Alright, and everything is pretty much wired as far as the horn department goes. You know, the top positive, the bottom negative, and then also on the stock horn, it's already wired as well there. Now the only thing we have left is on this side, we have our leads coming out from here. So let's go ahead and wire that up. Here is our relay. Now we're going to get to the positive one, which is this top one right here, and we're going to wire that one up to this red one here. I'm going to go ahead and put my relay kind of towards up here, towards the back, because if I ever need to change the fuse, I want to be able to just maybe remove just the bottom panel instead of the whole entire thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of put this up here and get the positive and then just connect it. There we go. That's as far as I could get. I'll probably put a little bit of electrical tape just to kind of cover up this part of the connector that's kind of exposed a little bit. All right, so our positive is already connected. Now next, these are our two terminals that we're going to connect for the stock OEM fuse. I mean, not fuse, for the horn, which I kind of put it onto the top. And as you can see, there is plenty of cable for that. So again, I'm just gonna kind of wire it through the back over here to this side, and then of course I'm gonna be, you know, putting zip ties. Sorry about that, guys. Of course I'll be putting in zip ties to kind of really neatly put everything. All right, so we're gonna put this to our cables here. The white one is gonna go to positive. So we're gonna go ahead and put the white to positive. All right, and then we're gonna get our black obviously is negative. So we'll connect our negative here. And those are my cables are just going all over the place over here. And again, I'm going to put some little electrical tape over here. It's better safe than sorry later on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of clean up all this wiring over here. Now next, this part is from the harness. This part is going to go straight to the battery. So I'm going to have to put an extension, you know, get a longer cable, connect to here and run it straight to the negative side of the battery. And then this blue one is going to go straight to the positive side of the battery. But let me go ahead and kind of knock all this out over here and tidy up the wires so it doesn't look so messy. Alrighty guys, kind of want to show you this part. Alright, so I already went ahead and kind of, you know, wired up a little bit and made everything nice and neat in this department over here. So everything's all nice and neat. All the wires are all nice and zip tied, as you can see over here. And then brings us to this part. Now I already made my connector, and I have this particular wire that is already kind of a sleeve on it, a black sleeve, and inside of it is just a positive and negative cable. And I already took out the cable over here, and the one cable that is already with the spade connector. This is the negative, and then we have our positive coming out to the relay, which is that blue cable coming out from the relay, and it's already kind of wired there. So we already got our positive and our negative connected here, and it's going to be running along to the front. And as you can see, I already have everything all nice and zip tied here in a nice fashion. So everything's kind of in its place and nothing's dangling at all from this area, even though it looks kind of messy, but trust me, it's nice and neat. Anyhow, here is our fuse, and like I said, I kind of put it towards the back, so if I ever needed to get to the fuse, I could just remove this bottom panel down here instead of the whole entire thing to get to it, and therefore I could just pull it out and replace it if need be. Alright, so we have our cabling right here. Now this is going to go straight to the battery, and you can see I have plenty of cable to get to the battery. And what I'm going to do is just kind of, you know, wire it to the bottom here, to this bottom part through here. Either that way or, yeah, I would say probably through there is good. Just kind of actually wire it to this bottom portion right here actually. Again, I'm gonna have to zip tie again some more wires because now that I'm already, you know, pulling on this part, so I could just kind of zip it there. But anyway, I'm gonna run it all the way to here towards the back where I have an additional spare battery. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and yeah, then I will show you how everything else looks. Alright guys, so I already have everything over here, and as you can see I do have my harness that I finally put on the bike, and obviously positive goes to positive, negative goes to negative, everything is kind of on there already. So next I'm just going to kind of straighten out the wires a little bit more and make it a little bit more neater. And yeah, and then actually now that we have everything already on here, let's actually go to the front of the bike, let's turn it on and actually hear how this horn sounds. I'm kind of actually really curious. Alright, so it's best to actually test everything out right now before we actually start putting all the body panels and everything, because if something doesn't work once you put all that stuff on, well guess what? Now you got to take everything apart, go through everything and everything. So it's best to just check everything out, that everything's exposed, in case anything were to happen you could get to it right away. So let me go ahead and turn on the power. Alright, moment of truth. You guys ready? Let's hear how it sounds. I'm not going to really lay on it, hopefully. I know it's going to be loud, but let's give it a little toot. Holy moly, that really, oh man, can you imagine if I actually held down the button? Man, and that's just in the garage. I can't wait to hear how it sounds like out in the open. That is crazy loud. Let's give it one more toot, because that was crazy. I think I'm going to cover my ears just for that. I'm going to give it two toots on this one. Yeah, that's definitely, you could hear the ringing of the metal or whatnot on the bike. That's pretty cool. So definitely people will be able to hear you, because like I said, everything's kind of open and exposed over here on this front part, so that's where everything's going to be kind of directed. Alrighty, now that we know that the horn works really well, now we could go ahead and put all the covers and everything back on. So it's pretty much the reverse process of removing the covers. You want to put the covers back on, put all the screws back on, and then just kind of go over everything and make sure you have all the screws in the right spots. We're back at the same spot. Now this time we got the louder horn, and I think I got the right time where you see it's sunsetting and there's not too many cars, but guess what? There's a car right there. I think there's something wrong with the Matrix. I think I'm being hacked by the Matrix, because it was super quiet here not that long ago. Now there's cars coming all over the place. Well, hopefully there's not too many more cars. All right, let's get to it. Let me get on the bike. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it for the sound test of the aftermarket horn. Hopefully it came across on the camera. Now let's head over back to the shop, and let me just close out the video and give you my thoughts about the horn. Well guys, that's gonna do it for this video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button. Don't forget to comment down below. While you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, that way you guys are up to date with my latest videos. And while you're down there, you're gonna notice that there's gonna be a join button. There's gonna be 4 categories. The first one will allow you to post comments. The second one is going to allow you to see content before it hits the public. The third one will allow you to see cool, like more intricate LED installs. Also with the e-vader, you will find on how to install the new lithium battery on that category. You also see how to install the brand new controller for the e-vader and also the hub motor. So all those videos will be in the third option. The fourth option will allow you to see custom headlight videos. Stuff like that, on how to actually make the custom headlights for different types of bikes, not only for like my R3 or the Gixxer. I'm not too sure too much about the e-vader, but I'll do a custom headlight set maybe in the future for that one. It'll be in the 4th option. So don't forget to join on that department. And if you guys do, I greatly appreciate you guys joining. Other than that, you guys take care, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.